Welcome to Linkronicity, where your journey and destiny link. I'm Stacey, Kumagai, your linkologist, and I'm here to help you link your life. Today, we are dealing with part 5 of Healing Your Inner Link series. And who knew there was going to be a part 5? So for those who are far behind and haven't yet binge watched, which I highly encourage, let's really swiftly recap everything. So part 1, your inner link of healing, was dealing with what you have yet to confront to heal because you're too busy adulting. Okay, so that's creating that list of the things that you've swept under the rug, things that you needed to get out and actually heal this time for real. Part 2 is dealing with what are you feeding yourself for mind, body, soul, spirit, health, well-being. What are you feeding yourself in terms of your thoughts, your feelings, in your automatic knee-jerk reactions from the first thing you wake up to the last thought you have before you go to sleep? How is that feeding your psyche for your health, and are you healing it? We were concentrating on working on that. Part 3, we were actually dealing with your life's greatest challenges and disappointments and how you looked at them and dealing with the emotions that were attached to them so you could actually look at them, heal them, and say thank you for making me a better person, stronger person, wiser person, because you came out the other side of actually dealing with the emotions that you were too busy to deal with at the time. And part 4, we were talking about your inner storyteller, the stories you tell again and again and again, and what that says about you, what that reveals about you, and more importantly, by writing out your own story, which you can learn about yourself in how you either still have healing to do by how you tell the story, the way that it's shaped you, and the way that it is creating who you are and who you've become as a result of that. And I left you with question number 5, which is what this actual series episode is going to be about. That question I asked you, do you remember what the 5th question was? How is your story, your understanding of all of those episodes that we did in our healing, our inner link, and how it comes full circle in the story that you tell? Now that you've learned what you've learned by telling your own story, what is your next story going to look like? What future self are you creating from all that you've actually healed, dealing with your inner healing link? So that's what we're going to address today. We're going to address in part 5 here how you are creating your future. Now, I know that's silly, especially for those who are dealing with the whole evolution ascension thing, how we're dealing with our future, because we really should be present. We shouldn't really be thinking about the future, but yeah, we are. Right? Everybody wants that happy ending. Everybody wants to have their head resting on the pillow at night knowing that they did everything they could and they have no regrets for things that they didn't do in their life. Because it's normally at the end of everyone's life that they I wish I would have traveled more, or I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have gone for this big dream, or I wish I had taken that job, or I wish I had, right? This whole woulda, shoulda, coulda lists. So in our healing, what we're going to be doing today is addressing the whole idea that how you've perceived your past, how you deal with things in the present, actually shape the healing you do in the future. Now, what does that really break down to in pedestrian terms? What does that break down to in everyday life? Everyday pedestrian human existence and soul evolution? How does that relate? Well, that relates to no longer delaying the healing. Because what did we learn in exercise 1, video 1? We learned that we need to buckle down because we are at this new timeline where everyone's being asked to rise, right? So we can't delay healing anymore. We can't say we're too busy and just keep shoving and suppressing because that creates toxicity, and then we know that feeds into more negative thoughts, which is video 2, which makes us sick, causes disease, causes illness. We don't need to be doing that to ourselves. That's self-sabotage. It's destructive to our psyche, our soul. And the more we do that, our soul can't rise. Part 3, we learned that we needed to actually come face to face with our life's greatest challenges and disappointments and feel the feelings, own the feelings, deal with that, bless it, and have gratitude for it. Okay? Now that you know those steps, and in part 4, dealing with your inner storyteller, how you're going to be telling your stories from here on out, can't go back, from here on out, how that shapes your future is actually creating your future healing. Isn't that weird? You're actually healing yourself, so you don't have to ever go back to this moment to heal yourself. Because if we've healed your past and you're living every day in your higher consciousness of this new space of looking at life differently based on all the work you just did in these last 4 videos, with full consciousness and awareness of how you're telling your stories now, what do you think that's going to do to your future? What do you think that's going to do to your healing of your future? Because there will be nothing to heal because you're actually dealing with it at the present moment. You're not telling yourself you're too busy anymore. You're not in denial. You're not dealing with the autopilot, or if you do, because you have to do the adulting, you know you can't let it delay any longer. So the minute you finish your adulting, you're going to get right on it. And you're creating your healed future. Your future that is going to look beautiful and blissful every single day, because you don't have all that backlog garbage baggage that you're still lugging with you. You're hands-free. You're traveling all over, free, without anything, without the baggage fees, and not even the carry-on. You're flying, floating, and it feels good. It feels good. So what we're going to do today is what I'm sensing picking up might be the final wrap-up to this series. Hey, 5's number of freedom. Can't make this up. Is we're going to be talking about the things you're going to put into conscious exercise. So what I want you to do is I want you to create a list, and I want you to write down things that you're going to consciously do every day. Now let's go back to the 4 videos. From video 1, what are you taking away from that video? What are you taking away from that? Are you going to confront head on all the things and no longer procrastinate? So that, write that down. I will not procrastinate. I will confront. I will confront the things that can heal me now. I can heal myself now. That's a positive thing to be saying. And that technically goes into video number 2. I'm feeding me these positive thoughts now. I'm feeding my mind and my soul positive energy now because I'm dealing with number 1. I'm dealing with not only number 1, but dealing with video number 1. I'm confronting everything right then. I'm not letting it create an infection, fester, linger, become heavy, right? Like that whole backpack that's just burdensome. You don't need that anymore. And you don't have anything rotting in it, you know, stanking up the place. You're not carrying that rotting garbage. You don't need it anymore. Okay, so that's number 2. Write that down. Number 3, what do we take away from that video? Do you remember? My life's biggest challenges and disappointments make me a better person. How's that for a mantra? How's that for an affirmation? We learned that, right? Once we confront our feelings, and that's another thing you can put down. I feel my feelings. I own my feelings. I work through my feelings. I'm allowed to feel these feelings, but I can't linger and drown in these feelings. I can feel them, own them, embrace them, but then I have to thank them because of where I'm going to take them and turn them into gold. I'm going to turn them into something that's going to help me. That's going to be my nugget of wisdom that I walk away with. That's positive, okay? And with the storyteller, I will tell my stories, my life story, my daily stories, from the place of insight where I can better my life. Where I can better my life. So at the end of every day, when you come home after work or whatever you're doing, school, and you have all of these experiences, get in the habit of writing your story every day. Like, today I, da 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 da, and you look at it. The minute you find anything in there that you think you're going to end up taking with you, that you think you can take with you, deal with it right then and there. Right then and there before you go to sleep, so that way you don't have to take it into your next day. And use your story as a learning tool for how you're going to take on tomorrow. That's how we're creating our future healing. Because we're not bringing it into tomorrow. We're dealing with it today. Now, this list I just asked you to create from the past 4 videos, I want you to tape it somewhere where you can see it every day. Maybe that's your bathroom mirror, maybe that's, by your nightstand, maybe that's on your refrigerator, I don't know. Maybe that's on in your car, I don't know. But wherever you can see it every day, start practicing it. And the minute, remember I told you about catching yourself? The minute you catch yourself slipping off one of those, you can catch it right then and there. Fix it right then and there. Heal it right then and there. And now you're doing it, and it's become a new habit. And I always say, what becomes habitual will become your new ritual. I know it's quirky and campy and dorky. I'm a dork. In a positive way. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to make something habitual become a ritual when it's positive and good and healthy for your soul as you rise on this new timeline in a healthy, healing way. So every day here on out can be a healthy experience. Mind, body, soul, spirit, illness, disease-free, positive, loving, giving. And here's where we open our heart. When we open our heart, what happens? Not only do we have more to give, but we can also open our hearts to receive, and that's the hardest thing for adults to do. Did you know that? As children, we give freely. We had no problem giving freely. Happy, joy, smiles, hugs, kisses, kind words. Okay, as a child, we're so free and unfiltered. As adults, we censor ourselves. As an adult, we close off. As an adult, we put up walls. But when you've done the healing through all 4 videos, what happens to the walls then? What happens to the walls then? There are none. That's not to say to not have boundaries. That's not to say to not have terms. Because we do need to be wise. You haven't been through all this hell and back for nothing. But it is to say to open your chakras, open your infinite possibilities realm to receiving joy, receiving happiness, receiving healing. Continuously, spontaneously, immediately, right now. So, that wraps up part number 5 of your inner healing link. And if something happens, if I get the download mentally, spiritually, and there ends up being a 6th video, I don't think so, but if there happens to be one, of course I'll record it. But in the interim, if you have questions, please hit me up on social media, and maybe I'll just make a Q&A to follow up for any of you who have something really deep that you want to go into. I can do it totally anonymously, just initials or nothing, or give you a screen name, whatever works, and we can address it that way, and then I can address anything where you're stuck. But I'm hoping the last 4 videos and this one are pretty clear, so there won't be too many things. And of course, I'm always open for private coaching sessions, so I can help you that way too if you want to take on a personal journey with me. So hope that helps, and I hope you're on your way to healing your inner link of healing and dealing with that so you can live your best healed life today. I'm Stacey Kumagai, your Linkologist, here to help you link your life. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Linkronicity, blogspot.com, and go to linkronicity.com for private coaching sessions. I hope you have a wonderful, healed day and that your inner healing link is constantly in motion so that every day is a healthy and healed day.